Look at that daikon radish. Hello everyone, today we are going to be harvesting some vegetables. We had our first frost this morning and we are going to see what we can get after the frost. Now, I do have some vegetables that are covered and protected from the frost, so a lot of them are still available and we are going to be harvesting some of them, such as green beans. We also have some celery, but I'm not going to be harvesting the celery today. So let's go ahead and see what we can get out of the garden after a hard frost. Look at that daikon radish. Wow. That's crazy. I don't know if you guys remember when I planted this daikon over here. And I feel like it hasn't been that long. Look at this. I could let this go for longer, but I thought this was sticking out of the ground. Let me just take it and try it. So today I'll try to make something with it. If you thought that daikon radish was big, wait until you see this one. Whoa. This thing is gigantic. Man, look at this. I've got quite a bit of green beans from this harvest, and remember, this is after the frost. Now yes, I do have some squash in this basket over here, but there's still a lot of green beans in this basket. And look at this basket also. I think that's a pretty good harvest. Now the ones on this side had sustained some frost damage, and I kind of knew that was going to happen because the frost cover is touching them. I was pretty sure that was going to happen, but I was hoping that the ones on the inside would be okay, and they would have been, but there is some sort of a mold or fungus that is happening on the inside, and you can see, and they have fungus damage. I mean, they're still alive, a lot of them, so these will still produce. Also, this side is doing a lot better than the other side. The other side, I think the frost covers, if you notice, are like right up against the plants, so the leaves that are touching the frost cover got damaged. So I don't know what's up with this fungus. Maybe it's because we got a lot of rain yesterday, and maybe it's because we got a heat wave right before the frost hit. We were in the upper 70s. I don't know what was happening, and I did not open this frost cover so that they could get some aeration during those days, and maybe I should have. I don't know, maybe that was a mistake to leave it covered in the heat. But anyways, I still got quite a bit of green beans, and I am going to keep the frost covers on them in hopes that I will be able to get another harvest. So this basket is now full of bok choy. I still have some bok choy in here, but I did not want to harvest all of it. I just wanted to harvest the ones that are really big. And you can see there are still some of this bok choy. I feel like I may need to sow some more in here unless these start growing again. And the ones that I cut back earlier, they are coming back. You can see right here. But it looks like they're, for some reason, all going to seed. Oh, maybe because it went to 70, over like 75 and over this past week. That's probably why they're all going to seed. I forgot about that. I'm not sure what that is and that. I was afraid that maybe some of this type of bok choy just grew rapidly and went to this. Maybe that was during the heat wave that we got. Maybe it's going to seed. I don't know. So that's why I harvested a lot of it, and today I'll just make a big stir fry and we'll have that for dinner. This thing is falling apart, but it served for 2 years. I think I can still use it for another year before it completely falls apart. Finally found a peanut that actually survived. That's looks like the only peanut that survived. And I do wonder if I actually might have pulled some of them out before because they looked like clover. Oops, I guess that was my first time planting peanuts, so it's possible. Very little. That's cute. I found another one. See this root? That is, I believe, a morning glory root. You don't want that in your garden. That's like almost like 3 feet tall. That's insane. Look, from my foot up to my waist. So this whole bed is clean, and as you have seen, I buried all the debris from the bed, the vegetables. I did not put any weeds in there except for the ones that were very little, and I just had a hard time taking out of the bed. So they all went inside the bed, and those will decompose with the help of the bacteria and the worms and all the insects that feed on this stuff in the soil. I try to do this method, I should say, every year, and that is because that adds tons of nutrients into the soil. And I not only add what I took out of the bed, but I also add a lot of stuff like kitchen scraps and stuff like that. So when I have them, I dig another trench and I bury them in it, and then another trench, so I have one in the middle over here, then I'll have another trench in there and another trench in there, and this bed will be completely fed with kitchen scraps and garden debris that is going to feed the soil and give it with tons of nutrients. And that bed next season is going to be super healthy. And I try to do that in the fall. This way, in the summer when the plants are growing, and in the spring, there won't be any gunky stuff under the plants, and their roots won't rot. They won't experience any fungal issues and stuff like that, because that might happen if you have things that are decaying under the plants directly. If you, let's say, you get a banana or whatever and you put it under the plant, you plant the plant on top of it. I don't think that's healthy, because I believe the garden debris and the kitchen scraps have to decompose before you plant over it. And by putting it right now in the soil, next season this bed should be ready for planting. I also have some kitchen scraps that are going to be going in this bed later on this week. I may come and do that off video. I also was able to clean the grass that was here. It was really difficult because the roots were clinging on to this landscaping fabric over here. And you can see all the grass that I pulled up. Now there is some that's still sticking out from the sides over here. I'm not sure what to do about it. I guess next season I'll tackle that. But for now, it looks so much better. Also, the bed over there, I just took the plants and I laid them on the bed. I will eventually dig a trench and put a lot more compost and stuff like that in it, but for now I just left them on top. So for now I'm going to take all the goodies that I got and take them inside and make some dinner. And I also have, over here I ended up with 3 daikon radishes, a whole bunch of squash, and a whole bunch of beans. And the other one that I just showed you also had a lot of beans in it, and the bok choy, and a little bit of some sugar snap peas. And it looks like we got some really cool temperatures, because the peas, the ones that I harvested, look like they had some frost damage on them. And peas can withstand 28 degrees, but if you look at them, I missed this one. If you look at them, they look like they have some frost damage on them. See those dots on them? That looks as if you put it in the, looks like as if you put it in the freezer. This should not be the color. This is if you put it in the freezer and you took it out. See that? So I'm thinking we might have had like a 27 or something like that, maybe even lower. I don't know. But the plants still look okay. Alright, so that's my pea harvest. It's very meager. So I'm gonna head inside and make some dinner.